Let me show you a number that should make every working American stop what they are doing right now. The median American approaching retirement has saved approximately $300,000. That sounds like a lot. Until you do the math. If you follow the standard 4% withdrawal rule, the rule financial planners use to make sure you do not run out of money, $300,000 gives you $12,000 per year to live on. $12,000 per year. That is $1,000 a month. That does not pay rent in most American cities. It barely covers groceries and utilities. And this is not the bottom 10%. This is the median. Half of Americans approaching retirement have less than $300,000 saved. Something has gone deeply wrong with retirement in America. And today I'm going to show you exactly what. 7 specific reasons why the retirement that previous generations took for granted is becoming impossible for most Americans. And what you can actually do about it. 50 years ago, if you worked for a large American company or a government agency for 30 years, you retired with a pension, a guaranteed monthly check for the rest of your life, regardless of what the stock market did, regardless of how long you lived. In 1980, approximately 84% of private sector workers with retirement plans had a defined benefit pension. Today, that number is below 15%. What replaced the pension? The 401k, and the 401k shifted all the risk from the employer to you. With a pension, your employer promised to pay you a set amount for life. With a 401k, your employer contributes some money, the market does what the market does, and whatever is in the account when you retire is what you have. If the market crashes the year you plan to retire, your problem, not theirs. This shift eliminated one of the most powerful retirement security mechanisms ever created, and most Americans never noticed it happening because it happened slowly over decades. The fix is not to wait for pensions to come back. They are not coming back. The fix is to understand that your 401k is now your pension, and you need to treat it with the same discipline previous generations treated their pension contributions. Consistent, automatic, untouched until retirement. The single most expensive mistake in retirement planning is not a bad investment. It is starting late. The math of compound interest is brutal in the best possible way if you start early, and brutal in the worst possible way if you start late. If you invest $400 a month starting at age 25, at 10% average annual returns, you will have approximately $2.4 million by age 65. If you wait until age 35 to start the same $400 a month, same investment, same return, you will have approximately $900,000, $1.5 million lost from 10 years of waiting, and the median American does not start investing meaningfully until their mid-30s or later. By then, the most powerful years of compound interest, the years where every dollar you invest creates the most wealth, are already gone. The fix is painfully simple, and most people already know it. Start now, whatever your age, whatever your income, whatever your current savings balance. The best time was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Open a Roth IRA, set up an automatic monthly contribution. Even $100 a month started today is worth more than $500 a month started 5 years from now. Here is the retirement cost that most retirement calculators do not fully capture, and it is destroying retirement plans across America. The average retired couple will spend approximately $315,000 on healthcare costs in retirement, not total retirement costs, just healthcare, and that number assumes Medicare coverage. Medicare does not cover everything. It does not cover long-term care. It does not cover dental, vision, or hearing. It does not cover the gap between what Medicare pays and what providers charge. Long-term care alone, nursing homes, assisted living, in-home care, costs an average of $54,000 to $108,000 per year. The average American will need 2 to 3 years of some form of long-term care before they die. That is a potential expense of over $200,000 that most retirement plans completely ignore. And healthcare inflation runs at approximately 5 to 6% per year, significantly higher than general inflation. Every year you are not saving for healthcare and retirement. This number is growing faster than almost any other expense. The fix requires specific action. Look into a health savings account if you are eligible. It is the single most tax-efficient retirement healthcare savings tool available. Look into long-term care insurance while you are young enough for it to be affordable, and add a dedicated healthcare line item to your retirement projections. Because $315,000 for healthcare is not optional planning, it is mandatory reality. Most Americans are planning to retire on Social Security, and most of them are going to be shocked by how little it actually pays. The average Social Security benefit in 2026 is approximately $1,900 per month. The maximum benefit for someone who earned the maximum taxable income for 35 years and waits until age 70 to collect is approximately $4,800 per month. The average retirement costs in America are approximately $4,000 to $5,000 per month for a modest but comfortable lifestyle. The average Social Security benefit covers less than half of that, and Social Security faces its own structural problem. The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to be depleted sometime in the mid-2030s. At that point, if nothing changes legislatively, benefits would be cut by approximately 23%. Social Security was never designed to be your entire retirement income. It was designed to be one leg of a three-legged retirement stool, alongside a pension and personal savings. The pension is gone for most Americans. That means personal savings need to cover what the pension used to cover, plus the gap Social Security cannot fill. The fix is twofold. First, do not count on Social Security for more than 30 to 40% of your retirement income. Build personal savings to cover the rest. Second, delay taking Social Security as long as possible. Every year you wait past 62 increases your benefit by approximately 6 to 8%. Waiting from 62 to 70 can increase your monthly benefit by over 75%. This is the retirement risk that feels invisible until it is catastrophic. Inflation averages about 3% per year. That sounds harmless. Over 30 years of retirement, 3% annual inflation cuts the purchasing power of a fixed income in half. The $1,000 monthly payment you receive at 65 will buy the equivalent of $500 worth of goods by the time you are in your mid-90s. If you live a long retirement, and Americans are living longer than ever, inflation will quietly steal half your standard of living. Most retirees underestimate inflation risk because it is slow and invisible. You do not feel it in any single month. You feel it over decades, when you notice that your fixed income covers less and less of your actual expenses every year. Traditional savings accounts and CDs do not beat inflation. If your retirement savings are sitting in low-yield accounts, they are being eroded every single year. The fix requires that your retirement portfolio include assets that historically outpace inflation over the long term. Stocks, specifically diversified index funds, have historically returned approximately 10% per year, well above the inflation rate. Keeping a meaningful portion of your retirement portfolio in equities, even into retirement, is not reckless. It is necessary. The alternative, putting everything in cash or bonds at retirement, means inflation wins previous generations retired debt-free. They owned their homes outright, had no student loans, and carried minimal consumer debt. Today, Americans are entering retirement carrying more debt than at any point in history. The average American between 60 and 69 carries over $90,000 in total debt. Mortgages, car loans, credit cards, and, increasingly, student loans. Debt in retirement is catastrophic because it turns a fixed income into an immediately depleted income. If your Social Security and investment withdrawals total $3,000 a month and you have minimum debt payments of $800 a month, you are trying to live on $2,200 before your first grocery purchase. The average credit card interest rate is 27%. Carrying credit card debt into retirement on a fixed income can spiral into financial disaster within months. The fix requires aggressive debt elimination before retirement, not after. The debt avalanche method, attacking your highest interest debt first while paying minimums on everything else, is the fastest mathematical path to debt freedom. If you are within 10 years of retirement and still carrying significant debt, this needs to become your financial priority above almost everything except capturing your full 401k employer match. This is the most positive reason on this list, and it is also one of the most financially devastating. Americans are living longer than ever, The average 65-year-old American today can expect to live into their mid-80s. 1 in 4 65-year-olds will live past age 90. 1 in 10 will live past 95. A 30-year retirement is no longer unusual. It is increasingly common, and almost no one plans for a 30-year retirement. Most retirement planning assumes a 20 to 25-year retirement. A portfolio built for 25 years will be depleted before a 90-year-old is done needing it. The last years of a long life are also the most expensive. Healthcare costs spike, long-term care becomes necessary, and cognitive decline can create financial vulnerability. Running out of money at 85 is not a hypothetical risk. It is happening to millions of Americans right now. And it is a direct result of outliving a retirement plan built for a shorter life. The fix requires planning for a longer retirement than you expect to have. Build your retirement projections to age 95, not 80. Maximize Social Security by delaying collection. Consider annuities as part of your plan. They provide guaranteed income for life regardless of how long you live, and maintain equity exposure in your portfolio well into retirement to give your savings the growth they need to last 30 or more years. Let me say them quickly. Pensions disappeared and shifted all risk to you. Most people start saving too late and lose the best years of compound interest. Healthcare costs in retirement average $315,000, and most people do not plan for it. Social Security pays an average of $1,900 a month, not enough to live on. Inflation cuts the purchasing power of fixed income in half over a 30-year retirement. Americans are entering retirement with more debt than at any point in history, and people are living longer than ever, which is wonderful and financially challenging simultaneously. None of these are reasons to give up on retirement. They are reasons to get serious about retirement planning right now. Not next year, not when things settle down, not when you earn more. The Americans who will retire comfortably are not the ones who earn the most. They are the ones who took these 7 realities seriously and built a plan that accounts for all of them. If this video showed you something important, hit the like button right now. Subscribe, because every week we break down exactly how to build real wealth in plain English. And comment below, which of these 7 reasons worried you the most? I read every single comment. Take care of your money, because your money takes care of everything else.